Hey there, this is David with Driving the Classics, and I think that I may have found the best value vehicle that I ever could have. Come see what I bought for $2,500. All right, well, let's look what we found. You know, after a lot of searching, and I'm very particular when I'm looking at vehicles. I look for particular engines, conditions. You know, what was the reputation of it? Looking back in history, see how often the major issues that may have been coming up on this particular model, and I narrowed it down to a number of years, makes, and models. What I was originally looking for was a 1995 to a 2005 Buick Park Avenue Ultra. I found one that I really liked, and the reason I wanted the Ultra is because it had the 3800 supercharged. Well, I looked at a couple of that I found online and just was not very happy with them. Not with the car itself, but the individual conditions they were in. One of them, oh my goodness, it was a beautiful car. Everything looked, the mileage was low, everything else. I drove to Houston, which was a 3-hour trip for me. Went down there to look at it, and it drove up. It was beautiful. Walked up to the car, opened the door, and as soon as I opened the door, that waft of cigarette smell hit me in the face, and I didn't even look at the car any further because I just did not want that. Because anybody who knows that has that cigarette smell embedded in the upholstery in the interior of those cars, you're never going to get it clean. You're never going to get it to smell good. So I couldn't do it. I could not do it. But I wanted to stick with those years, the 95 to 2005, either Oldsmobile. I looked at a number of LeSabres, which were very good, but they still have that 3800 engine in it. And then, not too far from where I live, this popped up on Marketplace. This is a 1999 Oldsmobile 88. Just going to walk around a little bit. Now, the reason I looked at this is, first of all, I do love Oldsmobiles. I love Oldsmobiles. My family had Oldsmobile. In fact, when I bought this, I became the third generation to own an Oldsmobile 88. But looking at it, the body is clean, and we'll go through some particulars here in just a moment. Like I said, there's a few little dings, little paint imperfections there. As you notice, the antenna, it actually will extend, but that's as far as it'll go down. But that's a very easy fix, and I'm not very concerned with it. But if you look, there's all the lenses are intact. The tires, these tires are 16s. These are 225 60R16s, and what came standard on these were the 15s. But there was this, but again, as I go back over here, I missed this. This is an 88 LS, which is just a step above. It comes with a little more options, but still this one came with the 50. So the 88 LSS, which came with the 3800 supercharged, came stock with the 16-inch wheels. So somewhere down the line, the 16-inch wheels were either ordered specifically for this or they were ordered aftermarket. But it fits, those are the stock wheels, so I'm assuming that came from the factory that way. The 99 Oldsmobile 88 was the last year that these were built, and they had gone to the new rocket symbol, and I'm hoping to replace that because that just doesn't look good. But anyway, So after searching for a few weeks, I was just getting really frustrated because everything I was looking for and the price range that I was wanted, I was just finding junk. I mean, there was things wrong with it, and again, there's issues, there's cosmetic issues with this, as you can see just on initial observation. It has had a few little bumps on it on the front bumper, but I went and looked at it. He had it advertised, Oldsmobile 99, Oldsmobile 88. It had 106,000 miles on it, and he wanted $2,500 for it. So I'm like, you know what? He's just a few miles away. Let's go take a look. And so we did. I drove it. I looked at it. I got underneath it. I listened to it. You know, everything that you need to do when you're buying a used car. And I found nothing mechanically wrong with it. It drove really smooth from the get-go. And so I'm like, you know what? For $2,500, why not? I can if it doesn't work out, I can fix everything it needs to be fixed. I can turn it around and double my money on it, which that's what I've been finding. So anyway, being 1999 Oldsmobile 88 LS for $2,500 with 106,000 miles on it. That was, you know, whoever drove this just did not drive it. That's about 4,200 miles a year. So let's look a little bit closer at starting at the front. Just what you can get for $2,500. So it's a 23-year-old car, 106,000 miles on it. It does have some cosmetic issues, like the little emblem here. It looks like something hit it there. The license plate, it does look like somebody kind of bumped some things here on the license plate. This is probably the worst cosmetic issues, and it looks like they just rubbed a pole or something. I mean, it's not even dented. It's just scratched. Here, there's a little... The light is a little loose in there, and I'm going to have to fix that. No biggie. It's a bracket in there that's come apart. The lenses are fairly clean. They're not as dingy as they could be. A little more bumpage there. But if you look at the hood, there's no dings, no dents, no major scratches. I mean, it could use a little wax, but we're going to do that, a little buffing. The glass is very clean. No cracks, no chips, no nothing. Now, if you look at the side, this is what kind of a strange thing about those body sides. The Buick LeSabres had them. The Oldsmobiles had them. It was this little fake vent window here. And the reason it was like that is since this window was more of a wraparound, as you can see how it wraps around, it's like a fishbowl. Well, if this was the complete window all the way, it did not have room enough to go down to when you lower the window. So they had to shorten the window to where it could go down here. And so you got this little short window here, but it looks like you have like one of the old vent windows, which would have been nice. As we move back, we still have the original stickers here. The customer care with the Olds number. It does have safety security locks, and look back here, and this little switch right here keeps your kids from opening the doors. I actually had this thing cleaned this morning, but I ran through some stuff, and so it got a little dirty there. Back glass. Seniors are special. So that gives you a little clue on who drove this car. It was purchased at Tolliver in Ballinger, Texas, which is up near Amarillo, near north central Texas. And again, you're looking to get some little bumps and scratches here. Looks like they backed into something there. But just, I mean, the cosmetic issues are really minute. As I mentioned, the antenna, it does go up and down, but that's as far as it will retract. Going looking through here, the rubber is really good. The weather stripping is very nice. It's not dry rotted. Mirrors. Now, what I will say about these mirrors is they're very small. They're almost like an afterthought on this car. So they're functional, but they're just very tiny compared to mirrors we have today. And even mirrors I had on my 76 Cutlass, they were a lot bigger than that. I will look at the roof. Now I do see a little, looks like some little bit of hail damage up here, but it's very minute. Again, all the weather stripping is very nice. The windshield wipers, or I didn't have to replace those. Those are fairly new. As you can see, and we'll notice here, because some people will notice it and they'll go, oh, you got a gap. Well, if you look, there's something going on with this door. This is a plastic molding here, and it's a little loose. But if you can look at the gap here, compared to up here, and all the way up, there's a little bit of something there. And when you open the door, it's got a little catch. Whereas back here, it opens right up. So you pull it, and there. But it's tight. It's not sagging or anything like that. It's not loose. As you look down here, you do have some little paint imperfection on the plastic coming off. Got a little scratch there, which we could probably erase. No big deal. You got this trim here, and this is chrome. This is chrome all the way here, but then you get to this point and it looks like it's been weathered. So something has gotten behind there. So something did happen with this door. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. You can see moving on up here, still got the chrome, but then you got your little bumpy bumps there. Let's look on the interior. As you can see, you know, this is all leather, and we'll get onto those, but you got a little bit of cracking here, a little crack here. Windows work. You got a little broken knob there on that little spacer, but all the power windows lock, all the power doors lock, mirrors, seats, everything works. We'll look at the interior. It's a little aged, but what would you expect for 23 years old? I've gotten in here and cleaned a little bit. I'll need to do a little more scrubbing, but I've already conditioned the leather floors. It's got all floor mats, all the floor mats in there, and I do need it. I apologize, it does need a good vacuuming. We'll come back here. Back seat, very clean. Still got the floor mats, and pardon my mess over there. That's my camera equipment. I haven't had a chance to clean the seats, but the package tray is very nice and clean. The seats are very clean. It does have rear air, which does blow a little bit. I mean, it's not like today, but it does keep some air moving back here. Look at the headliner, is very clean, and actually it was redone recently, so we'll move to the other side here. Again, very clean. I do need to clean the floor mats a little bit. And again, not much has been done to this since I purchased it, so it still needs a good deep cleaning. But again, if you look, all your weather trim is very malleable. I mean, it's still soft, and I've run it through car wash, or automatic car wash, and it does not leak. Go on this side. Door cards are very nice. This wood trim is like in perfect condition. There's no cracks. No cracks on the dash. Very clean dash. Now, as you can see here, there's a little rub on there, but you know, somebody put their arm on there, and those oils from your arm get in there, and that's where that happens. So if anybody has one of these and has possibly a good one of those they'd like to donate, or I could buy, or something like that, I would definitely be, but they're really hard to find. The glove box is really large, and you got a trunk release on that side, but you can turn it on and off so you don't hit it accidentally here. Ashtray we'll look at, but overall it's an extremely clean car. Now, what I didn't get to in my story was the reason I was looking at these cars. There was an era between 90, probably late 80s, 88 through 2008, where most GM cars that had V6s, they were putting this engine in. And there's the magic engine. This is the General Motors 3.8 liter V6 3800 Series 2. They did have a Series 3 after that, and then they went out of production in 2008 and went to a very sorry V6. These were very reliable, and this is why I wanted this genre of vehicle. The Buicks, the Chevrolets, the Oldsmobiles, and the Pontiacs had these 3800 engines, and they are solid. They are bulletproof. They're easy to work on. You can easily get 400,000 miles on these. And that's why when I was comparing them to Toyotas for these same years, this was a much better value for the money. But this is a clean engine. Like I said, it had 106,000 miles on it. These are all your coils, so if you ever have to change your coil, they're right there. All your serpentine belt is down here. Now, the only thing on this one is when you're changing the belt is, if you can see, and I'm not going to put my hand because it's hot, there's a bar right there that holds the motor mount. Well, you need to get that off to be able to change your belt, which is going to have to be coming up pretty soon. But here, you know, everything is visible. You got your alternator, you got your water pump, you got your crank, you got your AC, your power steering down there. Everything is right there. One of the other issues is with these have plastic manifolds on them, and I'm not going to pull this off right now. But there is that right there in the center, that little coolant elbow, as you can see. Well, those came with plastic, and those had a tendency to crack and melt and start leaking fluid. Well, when I saw that had been replaced with the metal elbow, that made me very, very happy, because I'll never have to replace that again. But as you can see, it's very simple. Everything is right where you can get to it, and they're super reliable. They're just, now, not a lot of power. This one has about 205 horsepower, which is not, it's a cruiser, and that's what they were made for. They weren't made for power. They were made just for comfort and luxury and cruising the countryside. All right, well, let's look at the trunk. Pardon my mess in there again, but I do have some other stuff in there. But very large trunk. Now, it does not have the jack. I'm going to have to get the jack replaced. But it even came with the net, the cargo net, which was very nice. This hadn't been used hardly at all. So as you know, here at Driving the Classics, we love to promote anything classic cars. So we are excited to announce the grand opening here in New Braunfels, Texas, of Gateway Classic Cars. The grand opening is coming up August 27th, 2022, and we're going to definitely be there to feature that, show you all the events, everything that's going to go on. They're going to have a car show, live bands, food trucks. So if you're in the area, we definitely invite you to come out. So we're going to look at a few of the vehicles they have here in their showroom, that we hope you come. We're so excited there, and they are just down the street from where I'm at, so I can come in here all the time. All right, so help me welcome Gateway Classic Cars here to New Braunfels, Texas. Let's go take a look at what they have. All right, well, let's look at the dash a little bit. We got a really nice, clean steering wheel. I mean, there's just a tad bit of a little cracking there, but for a 23-year-old car, it's really not bad. It's not rough. It's not sticky. It's like the airbag is good. You got the newest, the latest Oldsmobile symbol, which I'm not thrilled with, but again, it's an Oldsmobile, and I'm happy with that. Got just some regular gauges. You got your tach, your speedometer, fuel, and temp. You got your lights, headlights over here with twilight. The twilight, which will automatically turn your lights on at a certain darkness during the evening. You got the fog lights, trunk button. You got your cruise control on the stem over here. You got traction control button here, which in General Motors I've just learned don't touch it, because the last time I did, the transmission went out immediately. So that's a transmission killer in my opinion. So I don't touch that. That's just superstition on my part, but I just leave that alone. I've got the original Oldsmobile theft lock radio, which does work. It is missing some little knobs up here, but I'm okay with that. AC, very simple ashtray with 2 ports, and there is actually a light in there. So it's you don't see that at all. You don't see ashtrays at all. So you got dual seat controls, electric seat controls. You got a little cubby up here. Now, one of the things I will show, and you got the lights that actually do work. Now, one of the things is with this price point, you're going to have little issues. And these are going to get redone, but all the covering has come off the sun visors, but you do have lights. Kind of. There. You do have lights and a mirror. So that's going to eventually get done. And one of the other unique things about this is that you can do this, and this is actually your little double one. So you can have kind of a little corner covering of the sun while your passenger is enjoying the ride. And we'll come over to this one, and this one is in a pretty bad state of affairs. But again, these are going to be replaced. But lights do work, and they do dim. And it has the same double pad here. So if you look here, the headliner is in really good shape. It was actually redone, and now that's just a little bump in the thing. That's not coming down. So anyway, well, let's get it going. Let's get it started. You got your 2 keys, and this does have the VAT system, which I haven't had a problem with. Knock on fake wood, but let's get it going. Starts right up. No lights. Get some AC going in here, get it cool. Check your mirrors. And let's go. As you can tell, it's very quiet. Very smooth riding car. Turn signals do work. That way. That way, and all clear. I will turn the air off so you can hear how quiet this thing is. The noise you hear is road noise. There is no engine noise whatsoever. We do have a drive-in out here, which is actually pretty cool. The drive-in screens over there. Now these cars are still, even though they're 99, they're still very floaty. Ooh, yeah. And I don't know if you can feel that sensation, but it's very smooth. You're not bumping, you're not rattling. You listen, there's no rattles in this car whatsoever. Brake. Go ahead and turn around. And the AC is off, and we're just going to go from a direct stop and listen what noise you hear. One thing you do have to get used to if you're not driving these, and you get on a bumpy road, and yeah, I forgot about that. All right, it is. Anyway, the reason I demonstrate that is just because there's no noise, no engine noise, no road noise. I mean, there is road noise, but that's all you get. It's a very quiet car. Like I said, if you look, we got 107,000 miles, 107,215 miles. So for a 1999, that's very low miles. This thing was not driven at all. But a more straight, less bumpy road to show how smooth this thing is. And it is hard to translate the smoothness of this car to video. We're at 60 miles an hour right now. Temperature's staying below 200. We're at about 1600 RPM, 60 miles an hour. I can't complain at all. One of the other things I like about this car is with the combination of the 3800 V6 and the transmission in this. This is probably one of the this is one of the smoothest transmissions that I've ever experienced in a car. You cannot hear the shifting, you can't feel it shifting. It's just smooth. Why did they stop making cars like this? I have no idea. But this is probably the 99 is probably one of the last of its era. It was definitely the last 88 Oldsmobile 88. 2000 they didn't build anymore. But this was the last of an era. Still had luxury along with the Buicks, the Pontiacs. They all were just very smooth. And I miss those days. That's what I grew up with. Even the Toyota Camry that we had rode rougher than this car. And fuel economy in this car is, I'm getting 32 miles per gallon. You know, very similar to a Camry. Very comparable to a Toyota Camry. So yeah, that's it. 1999 Oldsmobile 88. They weren't called Delta 88s anymore. They were just a 88. But to tell you the truth, out of all the cars that I've had, this is the one that I'm most attached to. It's the smoothest, probably most reliable for a 23-year-old car. The interior is nice. There's no mechanical issues. And I bought it for $2,500. Where did I go wrong? Tell me. Here at Driving the Classics, if you like what you see and you want to see more, we ask you if you would hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and if you want to get updates every time we upload a new video, ring that bell and you get an email every time we post a new one. Well, that was our short little video on our walk around and tour and review of the 1999 Oldsmobile 88 LS. We hope you like it. The reason I put this on there is these kind of cars are out there that you can still drive, still enjoy, and for very little money. This is what you can get for $2,500, and I'll probably be driving this for years. And hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate you as our viewers. We appreciate your patronage. We always want to put out content that you enjoy, you like, and you'll bring you back for more. As I always do, I invite you to drive your passion. See you next time on Driving the Classics.